Bo Derek is one of those rare figures whose name alone can transport you to an entire era. She didn't just rise to fame. She defined a moment in pop culture that still echoes decades later. When images of her resurface with headlines like this, the reaction is instant, emotional, and deeply nostalgic. Bo Derek became a global sensation at a time when Hollywood glamour felt larger than life. Her breakthrough wasn't just about appearance. It was about timing, presence, and an unmistakable confidence that cameras couldn't ignore. She represented freedom, boldness, and a kind of effortless allure that felt both powerful and natural. The phrase "shows it all" has often been used dramatically, but in Bo Derek's case, it means something deeper than shock value. It speaks to openness, an ease with herself that translated into every photograph and performance. She didn't project insecurity or hesitation. What people saw was someone fully aware of her impact and unafraid of it. In an era long before social media and constant exposure, Bo Derek's images carried weight. They weren't disposable. A single photograph could become iconic, discussed for years rather than minutes. That's why people still pause when those images reappear. They're not reacting to scandal. They're revisiting history. What's especially striking is how calmly she carried fame. While the world rushed to label her, Bo Derek remained grounded. She never seemed desperate to explain herself or reshape her image to fit expectations. Instead, she allowed time to do what it always does: separate momentary noise from lasting influence. The idea that you'll want to be alone isn't about embarrassment or shock. It's about focus. These images demand attention, not because they cross lines, but because they represent a kind of cinematic confidence that feels rare today. They invite viewers to slow down and actually look, not scroll past. There's also an important cultural conversation behind these reactions. When a woman owns her image, society often doesn't know how to respond. Is it admiration? Discomfort? Curiosity? With Bo Derek, it was all of the above. She challenged the audience simply by being comfortable in her own skin. As years passed, her legacy only grew stronger. New generations discovered her not through theaters or magazines, but through rediscovered clips and photographs. And even then, the impact remained. That's the mark of true cultural significance, not trend, but endurance. Bo Derek's influence goes beyond aesthetics. She helped redefine how confidence could look on screen. Soft yet commanding, quiet yet unforgettable. Her presence wasn't about excess, it was about clarity. She knew who she was, and that certainty translated into every frame. Today, when people revisit those images, the gasp is softer, more reflective. It's a realization that glamour once carried restraint, mystery, and intention. That not everything needed explanation. That sometimes presence alone was enough. In the end, Bo Derek doesn't shock the world anymore. She reminds it. Reminds us of a time when icons were created slowly, when confidence didn't shout, and when a single image could live forever in cultural memory. And that's why, even now, people stop, look twice, and understand exactly why she remains unforgettable. Is this conversation helpful so far?